Hey everyone, I just want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to me. My name is Nick Parmigiano, and I'm the owner of Treasure Coast Physical Therapy and Fitness. I've been a physical therapist for approximately 25 years, and during that time, I've worked with thousands of people dealing with pain, weakness, balance issues, neuropathy, arthritis, and loss of independence. And after all these years, I've noticed something. Most people don't come to me because they simply want less pain. They come because pain or physical limitations have taken something away from them. Maybe it's golf, maybe it's pickleball, maybe it's playing with the grandkids, maybe it's traveling, or maybe it's simply walking confidently without worrying about falling. What people really want is their life back. And tonight I want to show you a different way to think about recovery. Because what if your body isn't broken? What if it has simply lost communication, confidence, and capacity? And what if there was a systematic way to improve all three? That's what tonight's about. So I didn't become a physical therapist because I wanted to work in healthcare. I became a physical therapist because movement has always fascinated me. I started weightlifting when I was young. I loved seeing how the body adapts. I loved seeing how people could become stronger and more capable. But I also had a personal experience. My sister had battled cancer. During that process, I saw firsthand how much physical therapists could impact someone's quality of life. I saw how movement wasn't just exercise. Movement was hope, it was confidence. Movement was independence. And I knew I wanted to spend my life helping people move better. So I became a physical therapist. But over the years, something started bothering me. I watched too many people receive fragmented care. They would go from doctor to doctor. One person looked at their knee, someone else looked at their back, someone else looked at their MRI, and someone else prescribed medications. And somewhere along the way, we stopped looking at the whole person. So I became frustrated. I felt like people deserve better. People deserve time. They deserve guidance. They deserve problem solving. They deserve accountability. People deserve someone who actually listens. And that's why I created Treasure Coast Physical Therapy and Fitness. Now, one of the biggest myths I hear is getting older means slowing down. And I disagree. I think people often stop moving because movement becomes harder. Then because they move less, they become weaker. Because they become weaker, they become less confident. Because they become less confident, they avoid activity, and then they feel old. It's a vicious cycle. Age itself isn't usually the problem. Declining capacity is. The good news, capacity can improve. At 80, at 70, at 60, at 50, the body remains adaptable. Our job is learning how to unlock that adaptability. Most people are not stuck because they're not trying. They're stuck because they're doing the wrong version of the right things. I hear it every week. I stopped going to the gym because my knee started hurting. I stopped gardening. I stopped golfing. I stopped walking. But stopping activity doesn't fix the problem. It simply shrinks your world. The body adapts. If you do less, eventually it becomes capable of less. And that's exactly what we're trying to avoid. Nobody wakes up and says, I hope I improve my hip strength by 20%. Nobody says, I hope my balance score improves today. Those are measurements. People want experiences. They want to travel. They want to walk on the beach. They want to play with their grandkids. They want to go shopping without needing to sit down. They want to enjoy retirement. They want to become independent. Everything we do starts there. We always ask, what are you trying to get back to? Because if we don't know where we're going, we don't know what we're training for. I want to make something very clear. At Treasure Coast Physical Therapy and Fitness, we do not operate as a session-by-session clinic. People don't pay me for visits. They're investing in a process, a system. They're investing in guidance, problem solving, accountability, education, reassessment, support, communication, access. Because recovery doesn't happen 50 minutes at a time. Recovery happens every day. What you do between visits matters. The questions you ask matter. The decisions you make matter. Your consistency matters. That's why our entire system was built around ongoing guidance. Everything we do falls into three categories: activate, reinforce, recover. This framework guides every person we work with, not because everybody has the same diagnosis, but because the human body follows similar principles. The body needs communication. The body needs practice. The body needs recovery. And that's exactly what our system provides. So let's start with activation. Many people think they have a strength problem, but sometimes they have a communication problem. The nerves are not talking to the muscles efficiently. The brain isn't receiving clear information. This is extremely common with neuropathy. Burning, tingling, numbness, poor balance, reduced confidence. The body begins losing awareness. And when awareness goes down, your risk goes up. And that's why activation comes first. One of the tools we uses pulsed radio frequency neuromodulation. Its purpose is to influence how the nerves communicate. It's not surgery, it's not burning the nerves, it's not masking symptoms. The goal is to help improve communication. Because if your nervous system can communicate better, your ability to move can improve. Now, does that mean it's magic? Absolutely not. Nothing is magic. But when appropriate, it can become one important piece of a larger system. Because again, we don't chase symptoms, we improve function. One thing that frustrates me is how much guessing exists in healthcare. I don't want to guess, I want to measure. We assess balance, strength, sensation, reflexes, functional capacity, movement patterns, asymmetries, because what gets measured gets managed. And when people can actually see objective changes, something powerful happens. Hope increases, confidence increases, consistency improves. One of the ways we measure strength is through dynamometry. This allows us to objectively measure force production. Instead of saying, you seem stronger, we can say, your right hip improved 20%, or your quadricep strength improved 95%. Those measurements matter because weakness isn't simply weakness. Weakness affects balance. It affects confidence, walking, function, and if we can measure it, we can train it. One of my favorite technologies is the visual feedback system in our clinic. And this is because movement is difficult to change if you can't see it. Many people think they're moving one way when they're actually moving another. They think they're centered, they think they're symmetrical, they think they're balanced, but often they're not. Motion guidance provides visual feedback. It allows people to see their movement. When you can see movement, your brain learns faster. This is one reason athletes use video. Feedback accelerates learning, and that's exactly what we're trying to accomplish. Once communication improves, we need reinforcement. Strength, balance, coordination, confidence, movement patterns, because life is movement. Every day we squat, we step, we turn, we reach, we carry, we balance on one leg. We recover from stumbling. Our exercise selection is purposeful. Everything should have a reason. Everything should move you closer to your goals. Now let's talk about the feet. Your feet are your foundation. If the foundation isn't functioning well, compensation occurs. The knees adapt, the hips adapt, the spine adapts. So we evaluate foot mechanics, pressure distribution, alignment, and when appropriate, custom orthotics might help support better mechanics, not as a crutch, but as one piece of the overall puzzle. The final piece is recovery. Recovery isn't doing nothing. Recovery is adaptation. It's the body's ability to respond positively to stress. That's why we utilize technologies that support circulation and recovery. PEMF, far infrared, red light therapy, compression therapy, blood flow modification training. These tools are designed to support healing environments. And again, they're not magical devices, they're tools that support the overall system. To make any changes in your life, you need communication. You need practice and you need rest. The body works similarly. Communication, practice, recovery. When these systems improve together, function improves, confidence improves, your life improves. My goal isn't to create dependence, it's creating independence. I want people to become more capable, more confident, more resilient. I want people to feel like they have a plan because uncertainty creates fear. Plans create confidence. One of the things I realized over the years is people don't stop progressing because they don't know what exercises to do. They stop progressing because life gets in the way. Questions come up, motivation fluctuates, symptoms change. That's why we've also created the Move Without Limits Recovery Concierge membership, because support shouldn't disappear simply because appointments have ended. Members receive ongoing guidance, weekly education, questions and answer sessions, community, accountability, continued problem solving, because recovery is a journey and sometimes you simply need someone in your corner. People often ask, why do some people succeed while others don't? It's rarely intelligence, it's rarely motivation. Usually it's support, guidance, accountability, consistency, having someone help you adapt when life happens. Because life always happens, and that's exactly why our model focuses so heavily on relationships and ongoing support. I want to leave you with one final thought. Your diagnosis is not your destiny. Pain is not your identity. Neuropathy is not your identity. Arthritis is not your identity. You are still adaptable. You are still capable of improvement. Maybe your goals look different than they did 20 years ago. That's okay. But your body still has tremendous potential. And our mission at Treasure Coast Physical Therapy and Fitness is simple: help people move better, feel better, and live better. Not through random treatments, not through quick fixes, but through a system of guidance, problem solving, accountability, and personalized care. Because at the end of the day, we're not just trying to reduce your symptoms, we're trying to help you get your life back. Thank you so much for spending this time with me tonight, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.